most trustless name in news.
Bitcoin just isn't stopping. It's the honey badger of money, and it's living up to that name this past week. But the big question is, how high will it go this bull run? What will this bull run look like? Will it be like the others, or are we in for some big surprises? We'll find out in about 10 minutes, because it's time for Chico Crypto. Yup, it's playing out exactly like it has in the past. Bitcoin is going through another cycle. But what is this cycle going to look like? Well, there are some big predictions coming out from big names like Bloomberg, who just put out an article exclaiming Bitcoin is in another super cycle. And they predict Bitcoin to hit $500,000, 500K this bull run. Is this going to happen? Will just 2 Bitcoin make you a millionaire by the end of this run? Or is that just some straight up hopium? Well, number one, we have to look at prior cycles and see if there are any similarities between them. So first, let us examine the bear market lengths and the percent drawdowns of these cycles to see if there are any similarities. So we could potentially apply that to the bull markets. In the first cycle with sufficient liquidity to make comparisons, Bitcoin hit its peak price on November 29th of 2013, and the peak price was $1,242. The bottom for this cycle, aka the end of the bear market, came January 13th, 2015, and the price was $152. This means the bear market lasted 410 days and the percent drawdown was 88%. In the next cycle, the peak price was basically $19,500, and this happened December 15th, 2017. The bottom for this cycle came almost exactly a year later, December 14th, 2018, and the price was $3,233, which means this bear market lasted 364 days and the percent drawdown was 83%. In the last full cycle we had, the peak price was just over $69,000, and this came on November 10th, 2021. The bottom for this cycle came just over a year later, November 19th, 2022, with a price of $15,750. This means this bear market lasted 374 days, and the percent drawdown was 77%. It's pretty obvious the cycles are very similar. The bear markets last a similar amount of time, and the drawdowns from the all-time highs are very similar as well. So in my opinion, this means we can apply a similar thing to the bull markets. In the first cycle, the low was 30 cents, and this came January 19th, 2011. Now remember, the peak price was $1,242, and this came November 29th, 2013. This means the bull market lasted 1,045 days, and the percent increase was 413,900%. Now remember, the low for the next cycle came January 13th, 2015, with the price of $152. The peak price came December 15th, 2017, with a price of $19,500. This means the bull market lasted 1,067 days, and the percent increase was 12,729%. After this peak, the bottom came December 14th, 2018, and the price was $3,233. The next high came November 10th of 2021, with the price of $69,000. This bull market lasted 1,062 days, and the percent increase was 2,034%. It's pretty dang obvious to me the bull markets have very, very similar lengths. 1,045 days the first one, 1,067 days the second, and then 1,062 days for the third. This gives us an average of 1,058 days. In my opinion, this cycle will be very similar in length, so applying the average isn't a bad idea. Remember, the low for this cycle came November 19th of 2022, 1,058 days from this date gives us Bitcoin peaking October 12th of 2025. Now, it could take a little bit longer than that this time around because Bitcoin loves to peak towards the end of the year. All prior cycles have had their all-time highs in November or December. So this is my prediction. This bull run will peak between October and December of 25. Although, will the peak price reach the number that Bloomberg is predicting? Will Bitcoin reach $500,000 in 2025? Well, from prior cycles' percent increases, which were 413,900%, 12,729%, and 2,034%, it's obvious these are shrinking, which, in my opinion, will happen once again. Bitcoin isn't going to increase by over 2,000% like last cycle. So by how much? Well, from the first bear low to the bull high, the increase was 413,900, and the next one was 12,729. This means there was a 97% difference between the two. From the 12,729% to the last bear to bull high we have seen, it was 2,034%. The increase shrunk by 84%, a 13% difference from the last. If we apply this to the next run, a difference of 13%, that would mean the shrink in the increase from the last run would be 71%. A 71% decrease from the last percentage increase would put this bull run going up by 575%. Remember, the bear market low was $15,750. A 575% increase would put this bull market peak at about $107,000, sometime from October to December of 2025. Sounds a bit more realistic to me than $500,000. I don't think Bitcoin will reach that this cycle, but it's very possible that it does the next one. Although there is another way to look at this. What are the percent increases from cycle high to high? The first cycle high was $32, and then the next cycle high was $1,242. This is an increase of 3,781%. The next cycle to cycle high was $1,242 to $19,500. This is an increase of 1,470%. After this, the cycle to cycle highs were $19,500 to $69K, an increase of 253%. Obviously, the cycle high to highs are also decreasing over time. So how do we go about figuring this out? Well, the difference between the first two cycle to cycle high increases was a decrease of 61%. The difference between the next cycle to cycle high was a decrease of 83%. In my opinion, taking the average of these two and applying it to this cycle is the best bet, since percentage increases are shrinking. Thus, the difference between cycle percentage increases won't be higher than the 83% we got last time. So that would give us a difference from the last cycle high of 72%. That would mean the percentage increase from high to high would be 70%. That would put Bitcoin at about $120,000 sometime between October and December of 2025. Taking the average of these two price points we have come up with, $107,000 and $120,000, we get a price of $113,500. So you heard it here first. Bitcoin will reach this price, $113,500, sometime between October and December of 2025. 500K is a bit too optimistic to me, but there are some other predictions saying 400K. But as we can see from the Blockware Solutions prediction, they stray away from the trend of percentage increases decreasing over time, from a 7x last cycle to a 12x this cycle. That isn't going to happen in my opinion, but who knows? Anything can happen with Bitcoin, as it has shown in the past.
Hey, hey, hey!
So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. When do you think Bitcoin will peak this cycle? What will the price be? And if you haven't, make sure to subscribe and follow me on all of my socials. The links for everything Chico are down in the description. Cheers, viewers. I'll see you next time.
The most trustless name in news.